Welcome back to a new video. Today's video is focused on Chucky Season 2, Episode 7, entitled Going to the Chapel. And I'm just going to go straight into my review as there is really no synopsis for this episode hasn't been posted. But Episode 7, the penultimate episode of Season 2, was a crazy episode. Shocking deaths all around, exorcism, characters possibly saying goodbye for now, and I don't know what to expect next, honestly, with certain characters, with certain things. But here we go. I felt like the plot for this episode was definitely insane, had a lot of shocking moments, was definitely wacky at times too, as the episode immediately begins where episode 6 ended off, with Nadine being unsubscribed from life and just the trio just having just different emotions going at them, from anger, sadness, blaming. Like, they continue to like drift away from all of the crazy mess that Chucky has caused them. And this episode had almost all of the main characters at the same place all at once, with the exception of Tiffany and Glenn. Like, that would have been really crazy if all of the characters of this TV show was in one place at the same exact time. But Chucky, he continues to have different emotions. He has guilt. He has vengeance. Like, at one moment, he's extremely sorrow. He's extremely guilty of what he did. And then the next moment, he is just extremely just evil. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he just has that sinister laugh. Like, it's just a whole mess, honestly. And so sometime later, Father Bryce decides to perform an exorcism on Chucky ever since he's been excommunicated. And basically, this exorcism is far from something simple. Like, Chucky just does everything in his power to make everyone's life a living hell, with the horrible jokes, the horrible talkbacks. Like, he says some pretty cruel-hearted things during this exorcism, and you just see a lot of crazy mess happening with this doll, from throwing up, biting people, transforming into another person. Like, this exorcism was definitely insane in my opinion. Father Bryce turned into natural selection. I thought he was going to get killed, but not like that. Like, bam, boom. He just exploded like some freaking gelatin that was made the wrong way. Like, I don't know how to explain this. Like, Father Bryce, his death was pretty jacked up. Like, my goodness. But in the meanwhile, in between time, Tiffany is still on the run for all of the murders that happened at her place. She has Glenn with her. She has the Jennifer Tilly doll, the Glenn Glenda doll. And basically, life on the run has not been so simple, as people are noticing her, people are spotting her, and she does have some ideas about what to do. She wants to go back inside of a doll, and I guess this is where the Belle doll comes into the picture, as the Belle doll, Jennifer Tilly, well, Tiffany, it makes sense. But we saw another shocking unsubscription from life. Jennifer Tilly, the doll, escapes somehow. She turns into natural selection. And honestly, that moment right there was just pretty sad to look at, because that woman has had it horrible for the last 18 years. But at the same time, though, even if she were to get her body back, she would still be a wanted woman for crimes she did not commit. And saying what happened would just make her look crazy. So it sucks. Like, it definitely does suck in here. Nadine makes a return as well to give Lexi advice about everything that has been going on, from the trio to Chucky, and about what to do next. Sister Ruth has some crazy plans in mind as well too. Like, Sister Ruth is a nut job in my opinion. Ever since she considered Chucky as the Lord and Savior, she has gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And in this episode, you just saw her just going completely off the deep end, saying that Chucky is the Lord and Savior, And after the exorcism, she just does the most. She turns into natural selection thanks to Glenda. And honestly, she had it coming. I'm not going to lie. But the exorcism does happen a couple of times, from Father Bryce getting departured to Nika and Chucky going back and forth. Chucky now being back to one doll, I have to assume. And yeah, like the last 15 minutes of this episode was crazy though, I'm not gonna lie. From Jake trying to drown the doll, from Sister Ruth's natural selection process, to Andy, Kyle, everyone else just seeing Andy just take this man out, putting him on a well-deserved t-shirt. And honestly, some parts of this episode felt like a series finale type of ending with how things was happening. Like, I don't think we're going to see Andy and Kyle again until something crazy else happens. Like, Chucky gets burned up, Dr. Mixter gets away somehow, and she just had that look on her face that something sinister is going to happen. But honestly, though, the ending of this episode definitely does confirm that Glenda Doll is going to have another soul, Glenn. And now that Nika is now free and everyone else is free for now, who knows what's going to happen next, honestly. Like, this episode to me was pretty crazy. The entire exorcism part was just mind-boggling. Like, performing an exorcism on a crazy doll. Like, I don't know what to say about that. But as for my predictions for the last episode, honestly, I don't really know. I think that Dr. Mixter's plan is definitely going to come into motion, whatever she has in store. I think the Belle doll will have a new soul at hand. Either it's going to be Tiffany or it's going to be somebody else. Who knows who. The Glenn and Glenda doll is definitely going to have another soul in there too, from Glenn, to save them from not becoming the next t-shirt in here as well too. But as for anything else, as for any other characters, I don't know. I don't know. Like, they killed off a bunch of different characters in here, and the church is not going to be in the next episode. So who knows what's going to happen on the season finale. But I would say, as always, just thank you for watching, and until next time.